Hi, I'm Trent Gustus of Keller Williams Realty. In this report, I'll talk about the condo townhome market in Calgary, average prices, days on market, and inventory supply.
To help make our stats a little bit more relevant to you, I'm going to divide up the city into different quadrants. We're going to do the inner city, the northwest section, the southwest, and what we're talking is west of Sarcee, because we would consider anything east of Sarcee to be inner city. The deep south, which would be Fish Creek, Chaparral, Mahogany, all of these south areas. And lastly, we'll do the northeast. At the end of the video, we'll go over the whole market so you can compare how your numbers match up with the overall. Okay, for the month of April, 72 townhomes, condominium townhomes sold in the month of April. And they sold at $340 a square foot, and the average sale price was $437. When we look at the previous month, we've got 78 sold listings in the previous month, so a little bit down. And we've got those selling at $329 as an average sale price per square foot, and at $418. So this market average might be up only because more expensive homes sold. But the average price per square foot, well, this is telling that people actually paid more. So when we look at how that compared to the previous year properties in the average were selling at $319 a square foot, and the average sale price was $413. Now the median price, this is where most people are purchasing. Last year was $379, now it's $405, and the square footage price is up about $20 a foot. So people are paying more money per square foot. And days on market was 39 days on market last year. This year's 24. So market definitely up there. Now when we look at what's available, we can see that we have 124 available listings, and that's about 2 months supply. Those properties are priced at $373 a square foot, where the buyer was really looking at properties at $342, which means, and also we're talking about bigger properties. Most of the properties that are currently in the market are on average 200 square feet bigger, or almost that, and the median group is 1,300 square feet. Now when we look at the price per square foot, I would say that what's left and remaining on the market is a little bit higher price, obviously a $550 price when the buyer is looking for condos and townhomes between $399 and $440. That tells you that what's left on the market is the higher priced stuff that's priced higher per square foot. So now we'll move on to the northwest section. Now in the northwest, we had 93 sold listings in April, and those listings were sold at $313 on average, and they were listed at $318. And they sold for $272 a square foot in 27 days. Now, in March, we actually had less sales, 87 sales, not that much different, but the square footage price was $264, a little bit less, and the days on market was a little bit less, and but the price was inverse, so our average sale prices were higher for March than they were for April. So really meaningless on the sales price. But the sales price per square foot means much more. It tells us that people are paying more for the properties. When you look at how that compares to last year, our average sale price was $309 compared to $313. So people are buying more expensive properties, but they're paying more too, because they're getting them at $257 a square foot last year, and this year they're paying $272 a square foot. Also, the properties last year were also marginally larger as an average, so they were paying so the market's definitely up in the northwest for townhomes. Now when we look at the inventory supply, we can see that 107 active listings available right now, and those are available at, the largest portion of them are available at $319, and the market is really looking at the right price where people are buying, which is quite an interesting thing, that we've got a reasonable market up there. But the price that they're asking is $344 a square foot. That means that the median must be much smaller in square footage, which is making up our percentages. So where people are looking to purchase is properties that are priced at $277 a square foot, $272 to $277, and what's available on the market is on average $344. Now we can see that the median, the largest group, the market will continue to be strong and sales will be good there because we've got we've got reasonable prices. Having said that, there's only 1 month supply, so these properties are going to go quick and they're going to go very close to asking price. Now we're going to move to the southwest section. We're talking west of Sarcee, Aspen, these areas, Signal Hill, and so forth. Now in that southwest section, we're talking west of Sarcee. We got 37 sold listings in April, and on average those list prices were $437, and there were 1398 square foot townhomes priced at $318 a square foot, or that's what they sold for. They were actually very close to the list price, and they were $435 on average. When we look at how that compared to March there was actually more sales, and those were on average $419 was the sale price, and they were $430 was the median. That's where most buyers bought. Of course, $307 a square foot compared to $309, so not much different, pretty much the same as the month before. How does that compare to last year? Well, last year properties down there were selling for $280 from $278 on the median to the average of $289 a square foot, and they were priced at $402, actually asking $411 and getting around $402,000. So the market is definitely up on the average, but it's also up on the average price per square foot, meaning that people are actually paying more up there. Now we look at the inventory supply. We can see here that we have a little bit more than a month's supply, not that much, but what's left up there is bigger, so 1,500 square feet and opposed to 13 or around 1,400 square feet. And this is a fairly close number, but where buyers are really looking to buy is around 440,000, around 400 to 440,000. And what's on the market is between 475 really. That's the higher group of 475 to 522, which really means that these are not the group that are going to move that quickly, especially if the buyer's looking for lower priced properties. And these on the average, we're looking at 347 a square foot as an asking price compared to 318 is where the sales were. So that's it for the Southwest. And now we'll move to the Deep South. Evergreen, Silverado, Cranston, Mackenzie-Town, all these South areas. Now moving on to the Deep South, we had 81 sales in the month of April, and those sales were priced at on average of $328. They got $325. They got $274 a square foot, and the largest group got $269 a square foot. That's the median price, as opposed to the month before. There was 61 listings in March that sold, and they sold at $270, a little bit less in both areas here. And the average sale price was actually a little higher the month before, and the median price was exactly the same. But people were paying a little bit more per square foot in the month of April than they were in March. Now, how does it compare to last year? Last year, prices were substantially different on per square foot. We're looking at $245 a square foot last year. It took 35 days on average to sell a property. This year it's 23. And the property, we're looking at about almost identical square footage on these townhomes, and they were priced at $287 or $292, and they were getting around $287 was your average sale price for a townhome down there last year. So things are definitely up for townhomes in the South. Now, if we look at the inventory here, we can see that we actually have less available properties than we have people that wanted to buy last month, which means that what's left in the market is pretty much the same size as it was before, and it's not priced too bad either. It's priced at $283 a square foot opposed to $274 where the buyers are looking. So it's a little bit higher priced what's left out there on the market, but the median price where most people are buying, the price is quite reasonable. Asking price of $324 on the median price, and it was priced per square foot at $276, and that's pretty close to where the buyers are buying. So it looks to me like there's going to be continued sales there, but the properties down there are really going to go quickly for townhomes because there's really just not enough available. And next we'll look at the northeast section of the city. Now in the northeast, as far as townhomes were concerned, in April, 52 sold listings, and they sold at an average sale price of $247,000, and the sold price per square foot was $237.30. Now there was 40 sold in the previous month, so sales were up a little bit, and the prices per square foot were also up. The average sale price was higher in March, but the average price per square foot was actually a little bit higher in April. Now, how does that compare to last year? Well, last year the average buyer was getting a property, a townhome. They were getting them for $203,000, and they were paying $205 a square foot. And so this is up substantially, and the median is also up substantially from 189 a square foot to 234 this year. So also the number of sales is definitely up. Looks like it's almost up 25%. Now when we look at what's available now, slightly more than available than sold last month, and the prices that are at are smaller units, $985 on average, and they're asking $238, and the sales price is the list price on average for last month was $250, which means there's a good amount of properties there that are priced. It looks like they're priced fairly well, and but the price per square foot is high. So we're going to see what's left on the market is lower priced properties. It looks like that are lower square footage priced higher. Okay, so having a look at the overall market here, you can see that sales not really up from last year, not too much really. We look at numbers sold. Last year we sold 3,100 listings in April. This year we sold 3,400 listings. So that's up, we're up, say, 300 listings. That's pretty good, I guess. And the number that we added was 5,300 listings. Last year we added 5,000 listings, so we added a few more listings. And our inventory is at 7,400 last year. And the reason why it's kind of a hot market for all of these sales is that we have a low inventory supply. 7,400 listings, when last year we had 8,700 listings in the same time period. So 7,400 listings is definitely up from where it was. And last month we didn't have very much inventory either. Now our median price $421, $420 this year, and last year was $390. So that's definitely up on the overall. And of course we're up on the averages. I don't like to look at these average numbers too much, only because they don't mean much to me, because they might be in converse to the average price per square foot. Sometimes when you look at the average numbers, it only means that people are buying more expensive homes. It doesn't mean that they're paying more per square foot. So these are pretty interesting numbers. And sales to new listings, as we see the number of listings go up, we'll see that these sales to new listings, the number will go down a little bit. And some of the higher months are usually December, because we don't get a lot of new listings in that month.
Realize that the market news I've just given you is based on the whole market. There's a whole other study we can do on the area that you're looking to buy or sell in. Your area may not move according to the whole market, and realize that average sale prices don't mean that a specific home would go up that percentage based on the whole market. Average sale prices sometimes mean that people are buying more expensive homes. Back when I started selling real estate, over 90% of the homes I sold were expired listings or homes that other agents couldn't sell. During that time, I learned from my clients the many frustrations that they had selling their homes.
Yeah, we had the home about, twice with some other agencies, and they couldn't sell the house. We don't know why. It's a beautiful house.
There was not any interest shown at all in our home by anybody that came and viewed it.
Too many of the other MLS realtors who'd come to show the house, they wouldn't have a clue.
We didn't get any feedback on our showing.
Last time our house was in the market about 3 months, and we've never got any offers.
It's for these reasons I have a very detailed approach on the way I sell my clients' homes. But here's what my clients had to say.
So we tried to put our townhouse up for sale October of last year, and it just wasn't selling, you could say. We had some show homes in the beginning of October, and a lot of people came, but no one really made a really decent offer, and we weren't getting any feedback. After the last 2 months, November and December, we had no showings, no one was coming, and we weren't really hearing from our real estate agent anymore. So come January, a friend of the family told us about Trent and how that he had helped them sell their house, and
Don't forget how we got that in the mail.
And how we got in the mail a pamphlet that said, you know, guaranteed we can sell your home. In which case we both decided we'd call Trent
And give Trent a call. And Trent came in the very first day that he came to see us, and he said, well, let's look at the market. Let's see where we're sitting at in the market, and let's make a plan of how we're going to put this up so that it's more appealing than everything else in the market in that kind of zone that people are looking for houses, in that price range, in that category, being a townhouse. And basically what ended up happening was, as soon as the house went up, exactly what we had predicted with Trent was going to happen happened. And in a very, very short period of time,
I think it was like one day.
I think it was one day.
Yeah.
We had an offer the first day and took it. Trent gave us extremely knowledgeable advice on how to deal with the initial lower offer, and it resulted in us maintaining a lot more of our value in our house.
One of the things that I noticed was really nice about how our house sold was that there was a video that was taken for YouTube, and when we went to go see it, we fell in love with our home again, not to lie. It just, it put our home in a light where you wanted to live in it. It talked about, you know, the great things that we loved about our home when we first walked in. Just 2 blocks down, there's another house for sale that didn't have that quality of videoing, and it didn't show the aspects of the home which we fell in love with, which we found that other people did. And watching the video, you realize that we boosted so much more of our traffic coming into the house. People who were looking at it, they already were interested before they even showed up. And right away, just from the first day, we had, you know, 3 or 4 people walk through that all wanted to make offers. And assuming if we wanted to stay on the market longer, we could have easily sold the house 5-6 times over.
Well, I think what the commercial does versus just having an MLS listing with pictures and then someone has to call and then come and see it is it takes the same thing that companies do, but he does it for you on an individual basis. Companies, when they want to sell something, you see it on the commercial while you're watching the NHL playoffs or something, and you go, this is awesome, I want it. And that's exactly what his commercial does. You see it and boom, you want it.
We had our home listed for 4 months in the fall, and it just didn't sell. We had a little interest at first, but then it just died down. After the new year, we got some information in the mail from Trent, and he was able to show us the advantages of video marketing, and he showed off our home to its best advantage. You know, it's not a show home, it's not a new home, but it's a comfortable home. And he was able to show that and get that information out to lots of people. And we had so many showings. We had, 1 or 2 showings a day. Some days we had so many showings we weren't even able to come home for meals. There was that much interest in our home. Another thing Trent was able to show us was that the market was actually good in November when we had our home listed before, and that was when there was no interest shown in ours. And there were homes selling in this neighborhood for actually less than what we got for ours just this past week. We sold it in about 4 weeks with Trent, and we're really excited to be, we got a price that we're happy with, and moving on.
This is just 2 examples, but in 13 years of marketing homes, I've got hundreds of examples of turnaround situations. High and low-end homes, fixer-uppers, show homes. I've marketed a home just like yours. So call me today for a low-pressure interview to discuss the sale of your home.